Subscribe to my YouTube channel, share it with your friends, and comment your thoughts. Her hands trembled as she stared down at the shattered glass on the floor. The conference room, usually bustling with voices and decisions, was eerily silent now. The broken glass glittered in the dim light, fragments of a once promising future, now scattered across the polished wood. A single envelope lay open beside her, its contents spilled, documents stamped with logos she barely dared to recognize. The slow drip of water from the broken pipe overhead was the only sound. Time seemed to stretch, every second weighing heavier than the last. Her breath hitched, but she forced herself to breathe deeply, to steady her racing heart. She had always been the quiet one, the woman who sat at the back of the room, who never spoke up during meetings, who nobody really noticed. She was the easy target, the one co-workers whispered about behind her back, mocking her soft voice and plain clothes. But today, everything was about to change. The door creaked open, and a tall man stepped inside, his sharp eyes locking onto the chaos before him. His voice broke the silence like a whip, cold and full of disbelief. "So, this is what you've been hiding all along," he sneered, stepping closer. She looked up slowly, her calm gaze meeting his. The quiet woman, the one everyone had underestimated, stood her ground. "I own it all," she said simply. A bitter laugh escaped him. "You owning this empire? That's a joke." But his laughter died quickly when her phone buzzed on the table, lighting up with a new message. The screen glowed with words that would change everything. They were about to learn the truth. The mockery. Before the storm for years, Maya Khan had been invisible. In the vast, glass-walled offices of Silverstone Enterprises, she was the shadow. In the corner, the assistant who kept records, answered emails, and fetched coffee without complaint. Her presence was barely noticed, except when her silence became the punchline of someone's joke. Her colleagues whispered behind her back about how she was too plain, too quiet, too small to ever amount to anything. They laughed at her modest background and simple ways. At every office party, she was the wallflower, the one who barely spoke, too shy to join the loud chatter. But no one knew her story. What no one realized was that Maya held secrets deeper than the ocean. She wasn't just a quiet woman, she was the silent storm waiting to rise, a day like any other, until it wasn't. That morning had started like any other. Maya arrived early, dressed simply in her usual pale blue blouse and black skirt. She smiled politely at the security guard, greeted the receptionist with a soft, "Good morning," and settled at her desk, surrounded by stacks of paperwork. The office buzzed with energy, executives preparing for the quarterly meeting, interns rushing around, and managers sharing whispered strategies. Maya's job was small, but she did it well. She filed reports, organized calendars, and answered calls. She didn't complain, didn't demand, didn't draw attention. But today, something was different. She had been called into the executive conference room without explanation. A rare occurrence. Her heart pounded as she walked through the maze of cubicles, clutching the envelope someone had slipped into her hand earlier that morning. When she entered, the room was empty except for the large mahogany table and the scattered documents on it. The air smelled faintly of coffee and old paper. As she laid out the papers, her eyes scanned the fine print, legal agreements, stock certificates, ownership documents. She swallowed hard. This was the proof she had carried in silence for years. The unseen legacy. Maya's family had a complicated history. Her late grandfather, a man of humble beginnings, had built a small business empire over decades. But after his passing, the empire was swallowed by greed, betrayal, and corporate takeovers. The name Khan disappeared from the company walls. Maya's mother warned her never to mention their family's name or claim their legacy. It was dangerous. The people who took their empire had power, and they wanted to keep it. So Maya kept quiet. She took a small job, stayed invisible, and watched from the sidelines as the empire grew under new names. But the papers on the table told a different story. They proved Maya was the rightful heir, the true owner of Silverstone Enterprises. Arrival of danger. Before she could think further, the door creaked. Marcus Reed, the company's ruthless COO, stepped inside. His dark eyes narrowed as he took in the scene, the broken glass, the papers, and Maya herself. "So, Maya," he said, voice dripping with mockery, "planning to play the big boss now?" She looked up at him, calm but unshaken. "I have every right," he laughed, a harsh sound that echoed in the room. "You, the quiet assistant, don't make me laugh." Her phone buzzed suddenly and she glanced at the screen. A message from an unknown number appeared. "We're watching. Don't trust anyone." Marcus's laughter faltered. His smile twisted into something darker. "What game are you playing?" he demanded. Maya's gaze hardened. "No game. This is real." The shattered illusions. Marcus stepped closer, reaching for the envelope on the table. Before he could grab it, the lights flickered and went out, plunging the room into darkness. Maya's heart hammered in the silence. A faint sound echoed. Footsteps. Approaching fast. Someone was coming. Cliffhanger, the unexpected visitor. The door slammed open, and a figure burst inside, their voice urgent. "Stop! You don't know what you're messing with." Maya's breath caught as the shadow moved closer, revealing a face she never expected to see again. The shadow stepped forward, and Maya's breath caught in her throat. It was him, her older brother, Amir. His eyes were wide with urgency, but there was fear buried deep inside. "Amir," Maya whispered, disbelief mixing with relief. Marcus Reed's sneer faltered. "Who the hell is this?" Before Maya could answer, Amir grabbed her arm. "We don't have much time. They're coming for you." Maya's mind raced. "Who? What do you mean?" Amir glanced around nervously, lowering his voice. "The people who took everything from us. The ones who want the empire dead and buried. And anyone who claims it too." The hidden War Amir's sudden appearance raised more questions than answers. They hurried out of the dark conference room into the maze of silent hallways. Once safe inside an empty office, Amir explained. Years ago, when their grandfather died, the family's business was stolen, not just taken over by rivals, but ripped apart through lies and illegal deals. Their father had tried to fight back, but vanished mysteriously. "We've been hunted ever since," Amir said grimly. "I've been in hiding, trying to gather proof." Maya looked at the documents again, the ownership papers, contracts, the evidence of deceit. "All this time, I never knew." Amir nodded. "You were kept safe, but you have to be careful now. Marcus Reed is just a pawn." A web of betrayal. Meanwhile, Marcus Reed paced outside the office, furious. He pulled out his phone, dialing a number. "Boss, she has the papers. The quiet woman is the real owner." A cold voice replied, "Make sure she never exposes us." The game was deeper and darker than Maya imagined. Maya's fight begins. Maya stared at her hands, shaking slightly. She was no longer just a quiet assistant. She was a target and a rightful heir. Her mind raced with plans. She would need allies. Trust would be rare, but she had one advantage: the truth, unexpected ally. The next day, Maya met with an unexpected ally. Emma, a sharp, no-nonsense journalist who had been following Silverstone Enterprises for months. Emma slid across a file filled with notes, recordings, and emails, proof of corporate theft and corruption tied to the current leadership. "People need to know what's happening," Emma said firmly. Maya felt a flicker of hope. Cliffhanger ending just as Maya and Emma began planning their next move. A new message arrived on Maya's phone. "They're watching you, trust no one." Outside the window, a black car waited silently. Maya's quiet world was about to explode. The black car waited like a shadow outside the building, its dark windows reflecting the fading afternoon light. Maya's heart pounded as she peered through the glass, her instincts screaming that danger was closer than ever. Beside her, Emma tightened her grip on the folder filled with damning evidence against Silverstone's leadership. "They're not just watching, Maya. They're planning to silence you." Maya swallowed hard. "Then we have to act first." Breaking the silence, Maya knew she couldn't hide anymore. Her past, her family's legacy, and the truth about the stolen empire, all of it needed to come to light. But exposing powerful people would mean risking everything. She began reaching out secretly to people she once trusted, former employees who had left Silverstone under suspicious circumstances. Slowly, she gathered allies, people willing to fight with her because they had also been wronged. Her quiet strength began to inspire others. A dangerous meeting. One evening, Amir called her urgently. "There's someone you need to meet. Someone who knows the full story." They met in a dimly lit cafe on the edge of the city. The man was older, with tired eyes but a sharp mind. "I'm David, your grandfather's old lawyer," he said, voice heavy with regret. "I have documents that prove the takeover was a fraud." He handed Maya a thick envelope. "These papers could bring the whole empire crashing down." The betrayal revealed back at Silverstone, Marcus Reed watched the news nervously. A new article had just surfaced, exposing details of the corporate theft and illegal deals. He clenched his fists. "They think they can destroy me?" But the real betrayal was yet to come. Maya's closest colleague, someone she trusted, was secretly feeding information to Marcus. The sting Maya's world shattered when she discovered the betrayal. Her trusted friend had been working against her from the start. Anger and heartbreak burned inside her, but she refused to let it break her. Instead, she planned a trap. With Emma's help, they arranged a fake meeting with Marcus's spies. Every word, every move was recorded. The turning point. The evidence was undeniable. Maya took the documents, recordings, and proof to the board of Silverstone Enterprises. The room was tense as she stood before the executives, once her mockers, now her witnesses. "I am the rightful owner," she declared, voice steady and powerful. "And I'm here to take back what was stolen." The board members exchanged uneasy glances. Some nodded in agreement, others scowled in anger. Cliffhanger ending. Just as Maya was about to win the support she needed, the room's door burst open. Man stepped inside, his face cold and determined. "Not so fast," he said. Maya's eyes widened. It was the CEO of a rival company, someone who had been quietly waiting to claim Silverstone for himself. The door slammed behind the rival CEO, his sharp gaze slicing through the tense air in the boardroom. The executives froze, caught between shock and fear. Maya's heart raced. This was the final battle, and the stakes had never been higher. The man stepped forward, his voice calm but ruthless. "Silverstone Enterprises is a prize worth fighting for, and I intend to take it, legally or not." Maya met his gaze without flinching. "This company belongs to me, the rightful heir, and I'm not giving it up." The showdown. The rival CEO smirked, but before he could speak again, Maya raised the envelope full of proof, contracts, ownership papers, and legal documents that trace Silverstone's lineage back to her grandfather. "I have everything," she said clearly. "Fraud, betrayal, theft. The truth cannot be hidden anymore." The board members murmured, some stepping closer in support. The rival's smile faded. "This isn't over," he warned. "There will be lawsuits, financial ruin." Maya nodded. "Let them come. I'm ready. The final betrayal and redemption just." As the tension reached its peak, Amir burst into the room with urgent news. "There's something you all need to hear." He explained how the rival CEO had secretly made deals to buy out shareholders quietly, aiming to seize control from the inside. But Maya had one more card. "We have evidence of illegal activities on his part," she said, handing over the files to Emma, who was recording everything. The rival CEO's plan unraveled in front of everyone. The board's decision. After hours of heated discussion, the board voted unanimously. Maya Khan was declared the rightful owner and CEO of Silverstone Enterprises. The room erupted with mixed reactions. Some applauded, others clenched fists. But Maya felt a wave of calm wash over her. She had finally claimed her legacy, healing the past in. The weeks that followed, Maya reached out to former employees and family members, offering forgiveness where possible, and rebuilding bridges burned by years of betrayal. She worked tirelessly to restore the company's reputation and to honor her grandfather's original vision. Her quiet strength turned into a fierce determination that inspired everyone around her. A new beginning one evening. As the sun set over the city, Maya stood by her office window, looking out at the empire she now led. Her phone buzzed. It was a message from Amir. "We did it. We're home." Maya smiled softly, feeling a deep sense of peace. Sometimes, losing everything was the only way to find who you truly are. Epilogue. The lesson Maya's story became an inspiration, a reminder that strength often comes in silence and true. Power lies in resilience, truth, and courage. She was no longer just the quiet woman in the corner. She was the queen of an empire she never let go of, because she knew what truly mattered. The end.